This episode of the Still Unnamed podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/TSUP.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Still Unnamed Vintage Radio Hour, proudly sponsored today by Chico's Bail Bonds, where their motto is, Let Freedom Ring. On today's program, we reacquaint ourselves with some classic radio skits from days long since past. So get comfy, grab a loved one, and join us as together we take a look back at a simpler time. 52 weeks ago, to be exact, all the way back to the year 2014. Enjoy!
Recording.
I was just talking.
That's a point. Like, I think that's
okay.
All right. So, should we talk about names?
Yeah.
Because as of right now, this is the maiden voyage, but it's currently unnamed.
Where
should we introduce ourselves?
Am I part of this thing?
You are now.
Hi.
Welcome aboard.
I'm Mark.
And I've made a huge mistake as my co-host. Hey everyone, it's me again on this Still Unnamed podcast, and I don't want to keep saying that because I have a feeling that that's what the show is going to end up being called, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
And now, it's the Still Unnamed podcast with your hosts, Pete and Mark.
Hey kids, hey kids, hey kids, hey kids, hey kids, and hey kids, hey kids, hey kids, and hey kids, and hey kids, and hey kids, and well, hey there kids, and hey kids, hey kids, and well, hey kids, hey kids, hey kids, and welcome to the 1-year anniversary episode of the Still Unnamed podcast. I'm Pete Salas along with
Mark Rodriguez. I forgot. I should have made a nickname. That's my nickname. Should have made a nickname Rodriguez. Magic Mark Rodriguez.
Oh, you finally came up with a nickname.
Yeah, I got a sexy voice today. Mark Mystical Rodriguez.
Oh, we're changing the nickname. Here we go.
Mark the Brown Stallion Rodriguez. This is Mark El Stupido Romantico Rodriguez. Mark 8675309 Rodriguez. Mark It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday Rodriguez. Mark Rodriguez ABC BBD. Mark El Gallito Rodriguez.
El Gallito.
Mark Love Wins Rodriguez. My name is Mark Zula, the Mike Ruler, the old schooler. You want a trip? I'll bring it to you. Mark, I wasn't ready. I don't have my nickname.
Well, come up with it.
Mark, what's new, Pussycat? Rodriguez. Mark, oh hi, Mark Rodriguez. Mark, if you don't know me by now, Rodriguez.
If you don't know me by now, you will never, ever, 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 never know me. You'll never know me. Anyway.
Are those lyrics? Because that's all I know.
That's all I know, too. You know why I know that song is from The Office, the British version?
Oh.
You remember when Ricky Gervais, what was his character's name? David Brent, something like that?
I think that's exactly right.
Okay, David Brent, he made a music video. He paid for it himself, and it was like him with a bunch of candles and an open white shirt. And
Gosh, I don't remember that.
The sheer, what are they called? Curtains, just flowing.
Yes!
Okay, and he was singing that song.
God, that was such a pathetic character.
I will never forget that. I will never forget it as long as I live. But hey, we're here. 1 year later. We're doing it again. We're playing to the camera.
I'm gonna do it.
Fuck it. Why not?
That's what we got it for.
How did you enjoy our last episode?
I actually watched it.
Mm-hmm. I watched it too.
I thought it was not terrible.
It was not terrible, and I like the fact that we got like 50 views in like the first 24 hours.
Did we?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
We got like
Those were Raymond Horta numbers.
wow. We got like double the amount of comments.
Yes, we did.
We got 2.
We got 2 comments, which is pretty cool.
One of them was my brother. Thanks,
the other
brother.
The other one was Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for the support, Chris.
You have been supporting us since day one.
Hey, you know what else he did? Do you remember couple episodes ago when I was talking about Rice Krispie treats?
Yes.
He bought us a box. He told me.
Yes. He bought us a box of the Rice Krispie treat cereal.
That was months ago.
Yeah, and
Where's my box?
Where the fuck is the box, Chris?
I was so excited.
I thought you were a fucking supporter.
God,
Jesus.
mad and hungry.
I know. I'm hangry. I believe
Hangry.
I'm angry and hungry. I'm hangry.
That's the word. Topical.
That is the word. You know what that deserves? I'm going to play with this real quick. Hold on. Here we go. I'm hangry.
Am I hangry? Nope.
You're not angry.
Am I hangry?
This is a cool little mixer.
I'm glad you're finally using it for what we got
That's
it for.
the first time I've ever popped open the effects that it comes with, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, next time warn me, you bastard.
Sorry. We're pulling out all the stops
We got
for the 1 year anniversary.
soundboard.
This is episode
mixer.
50. We're back. I didn't even say it. We're back in the TSUP Network Studios,
Yep.
located in the back offices of Pio's Bar and Grill. As you can see, it's still under renovation. Look at that. That's some sheetrock back there. There's that pink shit that goes in the wall, whatever that's called. Insulation.
Insulation.
Sorry.
You bastard! I was so excited.
We're men. We know what it's called. I'm excited.
It has glass in it, right?
I think fiberglass.
Yeah,
so
because
don't touch it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that my mom ever told me. Just don't touch it.
Yeah, whatever
I'm
you do,
but
don't touch
looks
it.
So soft. I really kind of want to touch it.
I know. So do I. Let's touch it together.
That's what?
Nothing. Anyway.
So let's reminisce.
Yes.
That's what we're here for, right?
That is what we're here for. We've been tossing around ideas as to what we're going to do, how we're going to celebrate not only the 50th episode, that's 50,
That's a milestone.
but it is also our 1 year anniversary show.
That's a second
We
milestone.
have been doing this for 1 full year.
That's a wow.
That is insane. It really is insane for me to think about that.
Have you listened to the first episode? Did you play a bit of the first episode?
Yes, I did.
Damn, we were bad.
Yes, we were.
And we are slightly better.
Slightly better, but I like the way that we were both like, this is a podcast.
Okay, are we doing it?
Yeah, we're going to do this? God, we were bad.
Yeah.
We were bad.
But I mean, look at us now. We got a little mixer.
Mm-hmm.
We got Beats headphones, thanks to all the money we're getting from our sponsorships.
Which is?
audibletrial.com/TSUP.
And we promise to not, pound it over your head for the next couple minutes.
Unless you kind of like that.
Yeah, do you like it? Pound it over your head?
Yeah. That's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Don't.
You want me to do
Nope.
the sexy
Don't
voice? I
do
haven't
the
done the sexy voice in a long time.
Fine. Can I take off my headphones?
You don't want me in your ear.
Nope. Ugh, I get like chills down my spine.
That's the point.
I give you black sensations up and down your spine. If you're into evil, you're a friend of mine.
That's my
Woo! Rock and roll.
my AC/DC. Oh, I'm having fun. I'm sweating. But it's good to be back out here where we belong in our studio. It's good to be still doing this after a year.
Yes.
Tell me, Mark, what have you learned in a year's time?
Let's see.
How has your life changed in 1 full year?
Oh man.
Let's talk about
like
that.
life, or how have podcast wise?
In anything in general. Like, how has Mark, if you don't know me by now, Rodriguez,
That's what they call me on the streets.
how has he changed in the last 365 days?
Let's see. Okay, for starters, I'm almost done with school.
Okay.
That's a big milestone. I said milestone like 5 times in this podcast already.
That's a milestone.
What else? I'm working a lot more. I'm starting to, not by choice, I'm starting to direct. I'm directing the newscasts.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm learning a lot.
That's awesome,
And
man.
yeah, it's exciting stuff because I originally wanted to
They
be a
don't
director.
trust that with just anybody.
No.
And especially not like the biggest news organization down here in South Texas.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
on
exciting
you.
stuff. Thank you. I always kind of wanted to do it. That's what I originally wanted to do. And then we found out Alyssa was pregnant with Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had actually had an application in when they were looking for a director about 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And this was, I think, before Dexter was born. They were looking for a director. And I had submitted my application. And, like, the news director was kind of, like, a fan of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very humble. I'm amazing. I'm really bad at this.
Right.
1 year. I'm really good at this now. And I decided to take my application out because Dexter was being born, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I started to be a director, the nature of me, and I know this sounds really terrible, but I tend to do really, really good, and eventually I see myself down the line becoming the nightly evening news director.
Okay.
And that
The
schedule.
technical director?
Correct.
Okay.
Technical
Not
director.
the news director.
No, not the news
You're not
director.
gonna be
Yeah,
out
I'd
there.
fucking be owning that place. No, just the technical director.
Right.
Primetime slot. I'd be working from 2 to 11, Monday through Friday. And that wouldn't work for when Dexter and Harley start school because then I would never see them.
Right.
And that thought just crushed me, and I had to take my application out, and I had to talk to the news director, and I told her, I'm like, I have to take out my application. And she was like, why? And I'm like, not like that.
Did she
at
say
all.
like that?
Not
That's
like
not
that.
perfect. Why?
No, Mark, I really wanted you to be a director. Go suck a dick. And then she keyed my car. But no, she was like, oh, that's too bad. May I ask why? And I was like, yeah, babies. And she's like, oh, I can understand that. And now,
Does she have babies?
no,
And how could she understand that?
because she's worked all her life and she doesn't have babies.
Okay.
I mean,
Well.
that I don't want to go into it too deep, but I'm speculating here. Maybe she can appreciate someone putting their family before their career.
Okay. I'll take that.
But yeah, so I'm a director now sometimes.
Okay. That's cool.
So
What-
it's nice to know that. So if I want to leave, I can be like, hey, I know how to direct too.
So you've made significant progress in your academic career,
Correct?
and you've made a lot of progress in taking the steps to get to where you want to be in
Correct.
your career.
Correct. Although I wanted to be IT, and I'm doing IT too.
Right.
So I'm doing a lot of stuff over there.
Jack of all trades.
I'm doing engineering. I'm doing IT. I'm doing technical directing now, and I watch Master Control. So
Gotcha.
I do a little bit of everything.
What about as far as the podcast? How have you seen it? Like, it's kind of hard to ask this because you're so close to the product.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think that we've gotten better, or have we just have we significantly gotten better, or is it just the same thing over and over and over every week? We just happen to do better slightly every single week. I don't know if that was a real question.
No. I can kind of understand where you're coming from. I think yes, we have improved. I think the first couple of episodes, we were just. Never mind. We're the same. We're the fucking exact same thing.
Okay.
Day one, like not day one, like week 5 maybe. Mm-hmm. You could probably listen to that, and it's probably just as good as we are already.
Well, see, I mean, to build the intro that we just played, I went back and I listened to a lot of old clips and whatever, and you haven't been on all 50 episodes.
No.
You were on the first one.
Yeah.
I think you made like a cameo in like the 4th one at the beginning. We were talking about something, I forgot. And then we went to the Robert Ceballos interview.
Yeah.
I don't think you came back on till like number 9.
Okay.
Where I said, you know what? I think that you and I should do the intro together. Then we'll toss to an interview with me that I'm talking to somebody.
That's one of the major things that changed is that you stopped talking to people.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, we don't have, Mark Maron money.
True.
So we can't, I don't even know if he pays him. I doubt he pays him. But anyway, we don't have Mark Maron.
But he gives them
fame.
like a mug.
That's true. I don't have any mugs to give them.
We don't have mug money.
We cannot afford a mug. But anyway, the point being is I talk to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to my family.
Yes.
The biggest celebrity, I guess, we had Raymond Horta, comedian. Even though he's a Valley comedian, but he himself is working daily to try and make it big to the big time, to the grand stage, whatever you want to call it. I've had DJs on here. I've had news personalities. So I guess within the confines of our small little bubble that is, the TSUP world, we've done pretty good. We've talked to some interesting people. I thoroughly enjoyed bringing in some of my closest friends to come talk. And they got it. They got what the point was. A lot of them who came in here before we started rolling, I had to kind of like explain what a podcast was. Because even though it's big in our world, and it's big in the world period, it's not one of those things like TV or radio or internet that people get right off the bat.
I would say it's something that you have to seek a bit harder to find.
Okay.
Whereas like TV, who doesn't have a TV? Radio, it's in every car.
Right.
A podcast, you have to search for a podcast.
Got it.
And there's just an ocean of choices, and some people might be overwhelmed and just be like, never mind. Because I remember years ago, maybe a decade ago, not a decade. No, I could say a decade.
2005?
No, I'm not going to say a decade. I'm going to say half a decade ago.
Okay.
You were talking about a Kevin Smith podcast, and I played it, and I was like, okay, I guess. And then I never listened to another podcast until just like maybe 2 years ago.
Right. That you got into
I got into it again.
Right. I don't know. I can't remember when I first heard of the podcast concept. I think what it was is like, do you remember like on iTunes, it had like these little tabs on the side?
Yeah.
And one of them always said podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was either.
What I thought it was you could publish your playlist and somebody could like listen to your music, or you could pick up somebody else's playlist and listen to their music. It was a way of sharing music where it wasn't a download, so it wasn't like a Napster type thing where you're stealing. It was kind
of like a streaming thing, you think?
That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I looked more into it and I realized that it's just people talking about anything. Mm-hmm. And, that concept like intrigued me a lot. So I looked further into it, and I saw that there was a bunch of people that I liked that had podcasts, like Adam Carolla, like Kevin Smith. I mean, dude, Kevin Smith was my hero.
Yeah.
Seriously, in the 90s, he made me want to be a filmmaker.
That's good. That's great.
But,
And you're kind of doing it.
Well, in a sense. But the point being is there were these celebrities that were like pulling the curtain back, and they were like just putting their real life and talking about it into a microphone and then putting it out there for me to listen to. And again, that concept intrigued me. And I was still working at the radio station back when I picked it up.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That's over 5 years ago that I first said, you know what? I'm gonna give this podcast thing a try, because I was just so bored with the radio, with music on the radio.
I can completely understand where you're coming from with that.
It was to the point, dude, where I was listening to like talk radio, like political talk radio, because I liked the idea of listening to people talk, and I didn't have to switch because I don't like this song or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I feel like, the radio, this is what they're supposed to do. They play the same songs.
Right.
But I get bored of the same songs over and over, and especially if it's a song that I don't like. And then, of course, there's the advertisements, and of course, podcasts have ads also, but like there's like 2 or 3 minutes of advertisements between 5-6 minutes of songs, and that's even if you like the next song. You could just be like, oh, I haven't heard this song in a little while, and then you'll just listen to it. But with a podcast, they're updated constantly with new conversations. Sorry, that was my phone. I'm almost out of battery.
Oh, I didn't know what that was. Okay.
Oh my God, we stopped recording.
We've lost the show. But yeah, I started listening to political talk radio, even though I wasn't really into politics, even though political talk radio, especially the one down here, is conservative as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't typically skew conservatively, but just the fact of listening to people talk,
Yeah.
it struck a chord with me, and that's where I said, you know what, podcasts are the way to go. And I haven't looked back. I've been listening faithfully to Kevin Smith's Modcast for well over 5 years.
Wow.
And, just other ones. And then there was a big boom of podcasts about 3 years ago, I'd say, where like everybody had one. All comedians that you could think of, wrestlers, musicians, just everyone has a podcast. So I said to myself, fuck it. I want one too.
And you got one.
And I got one. And
How have you changed?
Well, I think that more than anything, that is a deeper question. Like it's how do I say this?
I know you started it for a whole reason. I mean, you touched on it in your first episode as a form of therapy.
And see, dude, and I listened to that episode in its entirety. I mean, it was only like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, and I could not believe how different I sounded. Like, I sounded younger.
Okay.
I sounded less confident. Definitely less confident. I was like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's true.
All I had to base it on was what I've heard other much funnier, much more successful people do. And I was trying to
more talented, handsomer,
better looking, bigger dick.
Probably.
Definitely. And
hey, I'm sorry. We're going to go real off the rails. Has Kevin Smith sucked his own dick before?
He said he has, that he was able to do it when he was like 13.
I've heard him mention it like once or twice, and I was like, and he just mentions it nonchalantly, not like he's making a joke.
Right.
Like very matter of fact.
I think that he was able to, and that's why he put that joke in Clerks about Randall and Dante were going to a funeral of a friend who broke his neck trying to blow himself. So, I mean, it has to be based in some reality, I'd say. But
back to getting in touch with yourself.
Jesus, speaking of getting in touch with yourself. Well, let's put a pin in that for just a second, because this seems like the right opportunity for us to take a break and go visit with a little buddy of mine that some of you may know, some of you may love. And, he's been a big part of this show. He's one of my driving forces of life in general. And I just, what can I say? I love the little shit. Let's go check in with Quentin real quick. All right. Well, back by popular demand.
Because you wanted him.
He's back.
Awesome.
Why wouldn't he be on the 1 year anniversary show? Here he is, the one and only Mr. Quentin Cash. Say hi, Quentin.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
What's going on, man?
It's just pretty good.
Yeah?
Just pretty good?
Just pretty good.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, that's all the time we... I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Welcome back to the show. I can... Now, Mark, I've been saying it every time you're on here, but now Mark has seen proof. People love it when you're on the show.
They really like it when you're on the podcast.
Why is it? Why do you think that is?
Maybe it's because I have a cute voice.
Maybe.
Yeah, and your modesty is like really, really high. High modesty? Right. Anyway, so you're back. You have a very special segment right here in the middle of the show. What do you want to talk about?
I kind of want to talk about, like, what we did yesterday.
What did we do yesterday?
What did we do?
We shot a rabbit.
You shot a rabbit?
Oh.
Okay. Were you real excited about shooting this rabbit? Why did you shoot a rabbit anyway?
Did you shoot it?
No, Papa did, but I held it up and skinned it.
Okay. You skinned it? I don't believe that you...
I helped her. I helped Dima.
Yeah, you... I know my mom, she would not have given you a knife.
Nope.
No. So...
Maybe you watched.
Right. But... What was that? How did that feel? Was that the first time you've ever seen an animal get filleted?
No, I've seen like deers or other stuff get killed, but that's like the first time I ever a person killed something right before my eyes and I ate it.
Gotcha.
How did you like it?
It was pretty good. It tastes like dried chicken.
All right.
Well, hey man, that's a good lesson to learn, that if you're gonna hunt and kill something, you need to use it. You need to eat the meat. You need to respect the animal that you've killed, so that it could nourish you and put fuel into your body.
It's not just senseless
Right.
killing. You're not killing a lion.
Right.
Topical.
Too soon.
It's because like when my grandma when Nemo put down like when she cut it it was kind of disgusting, because when she cut it she took out the heart, and the heart was like cut. The heart was kind of cut.
Was it still
open.
bleeding?
Yes.
Was it pumping? And did you pick it up and you like shook it? No? Okay. Well, you should have.
I touched it.
You did? What did that feel like?
It felt like dry mashed potatoes.
Well, that's there. Yeah, that's true. Dry mashed potatoes. I've never personally touched a still beating heart, so you're more of a warrior than I am. I think it's like that Aztec blood in you. You don't have Aztec blood. I'm making that up. But anyway, so I always ask you this question: how's school going?
It's going really good though.
Yeah. Cool, man. Any updates? I mean,
Is that it? It's just good?
Yeah, I mean, elaborate. Tell us what you think about school.
I think it's pretty good. It's just like I'm having a lot of fun.
Too close.
I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm doing a lot of
You're doing great.
And it's just pretty exciting for me.
Yeah? Good. Second grade has treated you well.
Yes.
That's good. We went to open house recently, and I saw some of your artwork. Last time you were on here, you were talking about your art and the different things and the different ways that you express yourself, and one of them is through art. And I actually got a chance to see it. What was it that you drew? Or painted, rather?
I painted a bat.
A bat? Yeah. It's kind of an abstract bat. It was pretty cool. It was kind of like, if you look at it up close, it kind of looked like a bunch of triangles and like lines and stuff. But when you step back from it, I saw the bat. I saw the green eyes. I saw the red fangs. It was pretty cool.
Cool. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I'll need to.
It had like blood dripping down its mouth.
Say that again.
It had like blood dripping down its mouth.
Right. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I was very proud. I was very proud to see that you're taking your art to the next level, which is really good. And I appreciate the fact that you're so expressive with the things that you like.
Thank you.
So that was really cool. What else you want to talk about?
I want to talk about like my friends and when we were playing Twister, it was so fun. It's because I know so funny.
What happened? What happened in Twister that was so funny?
It's because Sebastian, his arms and legs were on blue and yellow,
Okay.
and then Ian was sitting down, and his arms were blue and yellow too.
Okay.
And Emiliano tripped, and
Right.
then Sebastian tripped, and when Sebastian was bending over and his butt up in the air, Emiliano tripped him, and then Sebastian tripped, and then Ian was still laying on the ground.
You
with
guys
his
all
face.
fell down.
No, I wasn't in there. I was spinning it.
Oh, you were spinning.
Yeah, and then I was playing for a while, but then I lost, and then Sebastian's butt fell in Ian's face.
Really?
That must have smelled.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you have a lot of fun with your friends.
Yes.
Did you play Twister?
Yes.
Did you fall?
Yes.
How did you fall?
I fell on Emiliano.
Yeah. Cool. I was never good at Twister ever because I don't have very good balance. I tend to like fall over a lot when it just walking down the street. I'm very kind of clumsy when I walk. So imagine me like, red hand blue and then right hand
blue.
right hand blue, left hand green, that whole thing, and then like turn around and it's like, whoa, you fall down. So, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you enjoy it. I'm glad that you're having fun.
It's cool.
It is cool. Anything else?
Can we talk about like what kind of movies there are?
Yeah, what's at the movies that looks good to you?
I was thinking forward for like the Civil War where Iron Man versus Captain America.
Oh, Civil War?
Yes.
When does that come out? That doesn't come out for a while, does it?
2016?
Like till the January
Next year?
Yeah, like
January?
in May.
Okay.
Or I remember there was a big thing because they were going to come out the same time Batman v Superman was going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like the same month. I think maybe even the same weekend.
But that is Batman, Superman, that's next summer too, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They're coming out around the same time.
I thought Batman Superman was like in December.
No, it's
No,
Star
not this
Wars-
December. Yeah.
Star Wars in December.
Star Wars is December.
Oh, Star Wars.
That's another one you can't
Yeah,
wait for, right?
yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
The first Star Wars. I think I'm alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. When did prequel 3 come out?
I
The
wasn't
wrong
alive.
person.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
was-
I don't know why I'm
I
asking you.
I wasn't alive at Prequel 3.
No, you weren't. But yeah, this is going to be and I was thinking about that, like how I was walking down the store and I was looking at all the Star Wars stuff and I
Yeah.
was just thinking to myself, like, I am not ready for Star Wars to be huge again. Like it was, I can only imagine what it looks like through, these eyes that hasn't experienced the when Star Wars ruled the world
Like
type
it's
of thing.
huge.
Like Star Wars has always been around in his life, but it's never been like, bam, like the thing.
It's like at peaking, it's not at the top, and then it'll steady out, and
Right.
it'll be like this is pop culture. But
Right.
right now, it's getting
Right.
Why are you not like ready for it to come back? I mean, it's like for me since that's my first Star Wars that I was born. So like it's like for me like Star Wars is still huge before they like didn't even do any more movies.
right. I mean, Star Wars is huge, yes.
it's gonna be huge forever.
But I'm saying like it's gonna blow up again to the point where it's on every T-shirt, every lunchbox. It's
Backpacks.
exactly like
Shoes.
it hadn't been that way in a few years. That's what I'm saying. Is
So
like there'll always be Star Wars toys in the store, always, but it wasn't on the toothpaste and the shoes, like you said, and just everything that you can think of. Any product you can think of is going to have Star Wars on it,
Yeah.
or has already started coming out.
That's true.
That
So that's-
Chewbacca, remember I gave you?
Oh, you did give me a Chewbacca. So, I mean, hey, I'm excited to see your excitement because I've already been your age experiencing Star Wars and being excited about it. And, it's your turn now.
I'm just thinking like what the heck's gonna happen in Star Wars because dude, I'm just thinking like I'm thinking if Yoda's gonna return, if he's gonna come back to life.
No, Yoda's dead.
I know,
he might be
I
there in
knew
like
that.
spirit. The way like the Jedi Masters...
Spoilers.
Spoilers. The way the Jedi Masters kind of tend to come in and
What I was thinking is like he maybe turn into a portal and he'll become like a new Yoda at the end probably, or maybe Darth Vader's gonna come back.
you write some pretty gnarly fan fiction. I like it. I like it very much.
And also there's a new movie, Hotel Transylvania, that's already out.
Oh, that part 2 one with Adam Sandler.
Yes. I remember now.
I want to watch it, but I haven't.
I haven't seen part 1 yet, so I need to watch that one first.
Let me tell you, you can't miss that one. It's really good.
Yeah.
One of Adam Sandler's best. Yep.
One of Adam Sandler's best. Okay.
I thought you would have liked it since you had 2 children.
It's meh,
It's meh.
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 It's alright. I mean,
Yeah.
have you seen the Minion movie?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think of that one?
I thought it was so cool because when the Minions finally got the Minions, like really the Minions, like Despicable, Gru was little, and he was like about like.
Spoilers.
Sorry for those people that you didn't see it, but he was like about like 7 or 8 years old, like me, and then he was looking for people to worship him, and then once at the ending he stole the freeze. He freezed with his freeze way, but he was still like a little tiny kid, and then so the Minions finally followed Gru, and now I think they're gonna build a Minions 4, cause like Minions, that was the first, and then the second, and then the third, and then now I think they're gonna build a 4th that like he's gonna come back and be a teenager. I think.
It's
Got
possible. It's possible.
It's a part 2 prequel.
And hopefully that happens, and hopefully I can take you to that. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here for our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. This is episode 50, and it was only fitting that you were on here. You're my best friend. I love you very much.
Oi.
You're my second best friend.
There we go.
I'm just kidding. I love you very much, and we couldn't have made it this far without you. You've been a crucial part of the podcast, and we love it when you're on here every time. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll see.
Happy Talk to Tuesday.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. That was my little buddy, Quentin Cash. How do you think he's changed in the last year? Let's talk about him behind his back.
He's a murderer.
Yes, he kills fluffy, cute little bunnies.
Actually, he's grown a lot.
He has, right?
Like it's even over the summer.
The kid got big.
Like real big, real fast.
Right.
Like it was crazy. Like I cannot explain how much taller and thicker he is over the past 3 months.
Right.
I remember he was just like a first grader, and I'm like, yeah, that's a first grader. He's a second grader right now. If you told me he was like a third or fourth, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, he's always been like tall for his age.
Mm-hmm.
He's always kind of like stood above some of the other kids in kinder and in first. So, yeah, I think a lot. You know, I think about him a lot because you're a dad, and like,
what?
What do we do anything for at this point if not for our children?
Yeah,
you know, and it's hard to explain the way that I see him, because I see people that I love in different eyes, and I guess we all look at people differently. I don't know how you see the world through your eyes. You don't know how I see.
Have you seen 30 Rock with Kenneth the Page?
Yes. Yes, where
he sees everything looks like a Muppet.
Right.
That looked perfectly normal to me.
That's how you see it.
I'm like, okay, what's the joke, everybody?
Right. That kid's been through a lot. That in a short amount of time, and you know, it's nothing new. It's not like it's something that he's the only kid on earth who's ever gone through it. But I mean, he's gone through a divorce, for the lack of a better term. And the whole switching of schedules and picking up and dropping off, and 1 week with me and 1 week with his mom, and just different things like that. And the kid he's a fucking survivor, man.
Yeah.
He has handled it with such grace and such understanding of, you know, just, hey man, shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens, and I'm very proud of him. And I've seen that even more so over the last year, just with different changes in his life and different things like that. I love the kid, and he is my reason for living. And I was very happy to put him on for the 1 year. So anyway,
that's really very sweet to say, and also it helps him, I imagine, or I know, that you care about him so much and you're constantly wanting to spend time with him. I'm sure he recognizes that.
Right. I hope he does. It's not like him and his friends are at the age level where they like talk about their feelings and about things at home. I know he's probably not the only, child of a divorce in his classroom. But I can only hope that any other kids who have that are going through that situation, they have the kind of parents that he has, that they do, whatever they can to make him feel loved and special and make him feel like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Even when sometimes it's not,
He's a resilient little shit.
He is a resilient little shit. That's going to go in the intro. I mean, the synopsis. But anyway, what else? What else has
I stopped doing a lot of stuff that I said I was going to do.
You have introduced a fair amount of segments into this show, into this network, really, that you have not followed through with.
Nope.
In the slightest.
Let's
start with Mark's Minute.
Sure.
When we first started this podcast, we were all gung-ho.
I did it, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, there's a microphone, and people were listening, and da 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 da." And then you started to get guests, and I was like, "Oh, I want to talk on a microphone." And I was like, "Pete, I'm gonna fucking do my own podcast, Mark's Minute. It has 2 M's. I spoke about it in previous podcasts.
I made you a clock logo.
I was gonna make a T-shirt. It was gonna be great, and then I did like 3." And I was like, I could edit this. It's gonna be so easy. And you're like, yeah, you can edit it. And I downloaded Audacity. It's a free audio editing software. And I was like, this is fucking papas. And I did it.
Fucking papas.
And I did it. And I'm like submitting them. I'm like, done. And then another one, done. And then I'm like, I'm done. Hey, I'm not gonna do them anymore.
Right. And so the. I put a tab on my website for you.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, it has gone unclicked for like 40 fucking weeks.
I'm pretty sure I was the click 40 weeks ago.
And then what's another one? We were going to do movie reviews, which we never did.
Did we say that?
Yes, we did. That we were going to watch a movie and then talk about it. I believe it was the episode when Ruben was here. There's another friend of the show.
Shout out to Ruben. He's a chap man because he's chap man. Give it up, dip up.
Jesus Christ. Just the tip.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was so good. And it's so easy to do.
You were going to give us simple life hacks every week.
There's just so many.
There's so many. Like, literally, other people have done the work for you. All you had to do was read it off your phone.
And you just... Well, because you were supposed to feed me the line like, hey, Mark, give me just the tip.
Yeah, but I mean, don't wait for me. I'm off and running. I'm in a zone.
I'm not going to force the tip on anybody.
It's tunnel vision right here. Like that. That's all I see. And that beautiful face.
Now all of America could see it. And everywhere else except for North Korea.
Right.
Because they don't allow the internet.
They don't allow internets.
Yeah, I didn't do that one anymore either. Because just fucking forgot. I think that's what it really boils down to. I forgot.
We just forget.
Yeah.
I've been saying, like, we need, like, a dry erase board that's, like, off camera. Well, now it's off camera, but, like, at some point, like...
It could have been right in front of us before camera.
It could have been. We could have been, like, right here with all our notes. But...
Hey, Pete, you seen a movie?
Right. But that's okay. It's one of those things that I guess if it was meant to last, it would have lasted.
Yes.
Do you have one now? Let me just throw you... Mark, give me just the tip.
Hey, Pete, you ever want to make a podcast? Download Audacity. It's a free audio editing software in case... Yeah, let's just fucking tell people, if you want to make your own podcast,
yes,
just do it. I mean...
Absolutely.
Just throw it on YouTube. Free to throw it on YouTube. You don't have to have these... You don't have to have mics
Right.
Just use a freaking voice recorder on your phone.
Exactly. Or like, if you have a laptop, they have like built-in, what do they call webcams? And stuff.
Webcam.
That's really all it takes. And I've had a lot of friends of the show, message me or text me or whatever and say like, I want to do that. Like, especially after they've been on here, like Ruben's one of them who's says, man, I want to make a podcast with me and my friends or whatever. I'm like, do it, man. Do it. It's as simple as that. It is simply do it. All you need is a laptop, which is pretty much the only thing that's going to cost you any money, but chances are you already have it. You download something like Audacity, the free recording software, or if you have a Mac, GarageBand records it perfectly. And invest in some of those headset microphones. They're like $20 each. You get the ear and the mic in the same thing. You don't have to have this kind of a setup. We have this setup because we're audio guys. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I know what's good out there. I know where I can find it to steal it.
Also, I mean, kidding. Didn't we buy you that mic and that?
Yeah, it
was gifts.
It was, yeah, exactly.
Did you invest any money in this whatsoever? Like, if you think about it?
No, that's Alyssa's laptop. You bought me these two. That I've had for years, and that's off camera. No, this right here I've had for years.
Oh, you told me to get that off camera.
Yeah, I told you to move that before we started recording, but use a hoe.
Oh, God, I love that song.
This one, I can neither confirm nor deny where it came from.
Let me just scratch off this etching.
Oh, does it have the serial number there?
I hope not.
Okay, well, irregardless.
Can't take a hoe to a hotel. Hotel everybody, even the mayor.
Before I get too far, yes, I realize the word irregardless is not a real word. I said that on purpose. I hate when people actually say that.
I think that's a word.
No, regardless is a word.
Okay, calm down, Brandon.
That is not even funny. That is not our tagline, and you know it. That is somebody else's tagline. Now I'm going to get fired, and now I'm going to rely on...
You need to bleep out because you've never said where you work.
I have never said where I work. You piece of shit.
Bleep me out. You can bleep... I give full... Oh.
And it would be the 1 year anniversary that...
Welcome to unemployment.
I'm going to have to really rely on the audible.com. Because now I got to make up my salary thanks to Mark, because that was the one thing that I always swore I would never do is mention where I actually work.
Which you
even though it's common knowledge, people know I've dropped hints, but I've never said the name just out of,
respect for the business,
I guess. So yes, that will be bleeped out, but anyone with half a brain can figure it out. Shit. Anyway, that's fine.
What is that all that I've not done? I feel like there's one more.
I don't remember. The only thing that you have successfully done and kept up with is the nicknames. I think you started that around episode 19.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then there's been like 30 plus episodes, 30 plus nicknames that you've come up with.
Not bad.
That you've pulled out of your butt.
Yeah. Usually I'm just like, I need a nickname, this. And the reason why they're usually song lyrics is because song lyrics are so catchy. Even though like the first half of the podcast we were like, songs suck, listen to podcasts.
Right. That's okay. You really like that one, don't you?
No, but it's just stuck in my head right now.
I'm a scat man.
That's what it sounds like when I eat a hot dog.
You're so stupid.
And the audience loves it.
Mm-hmm. They do. They keep coming back. They want more.
I think your numbers have significantly gone down since you stopped having guests and started having more Mark.
Well, as much as I would like to agree with that, I'd have to say that I've seen the numbers. I've seen the hard digits and the metrics and all that stuff. And it's not bullshit. We have steadily been increasing over the last year. And that in itself is awesome. It started off where I was personally emailing clips of the show to friends just to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then I was like, hey, I can post this on Facebook and then Twitter. And then, I was like, let me get a website and whatever. And it was just like little by little by little. And then at this point, we're at the point where if we skip a week, we're getting emails saying, where are you guys?
Yeah, we're getting text messages, or at work, they'll just be like, hey, what happened?
Right.
Like, oh, Pete. Oh.
Yeah. And they know, like, oh, that
yeah.
guy. Yeah, fuck
yeah,
that
he's
guy.
a real flake, that Pedro.
I, for one, am very glad and excited that I have continued the show because, like I said, there's been multiple times where it wasn't. It became a chore, and
Have you thought about throwing in the towel?
no. I just, granted, I can't compare myself to some other like celebrities. Like there's the serious podcasters that's what they do. It has become their main source of income.
Yes.
Whereas, like, we reference him a lot. He's one of our mentors, I guess. Mark Maron,
Okay.
comedian, stand-up comedian, primarily. But at this point, he's become a podcaster. Like, that is what he's known as.
Did you know he has like the best quote? Like, I think it was voted like the best podcast in.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you do know. You listen.
The episode with Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Yep. That was voted the best podcast of all time. The best episode of a podcast of all time.
Until they hear this one.
Hey!
Sorry, Mark Maron. A new Mark's in town with a K.
What was I saying? Shit, I lost my point. Anyway, no, I remember.
Okay, good, because I remember too.
Mark Maron, he's a stand-up comedian, but he's primarily a podcaster at this point now. So, but he is able to do it twice a week.
Yeah.
Now, in my case, I'm not nearly as busy or as famous as he is, but I think that due to the fact that this is not how I make a living, this is just a hobby that turned into a passion.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to just say, like, you know what, I can skip this week.
Yeah.
But then after I started getting the requests and the reminders and the questions like that, it became a lot more prominent in my life, and it became like, it took one of the top spots of like, okay, I need to do this, and this is something we need to do. What has been your favorite episode so far in the last 49 rather?
Let's see. Hey, can we real quick talk about how we had a pretty good episode, like it might have been episode 2 or 3, and then that's when your laptop shit the bed?
Yeah, I remember. That was...
we had to... I'm going to pull back the curtain a bit.
Uh-huh.
We had to fake that conversation in a later podcast.
Did we?
Yeah. It was about the Legos and strippers and...
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that was early on. That was number 6 or 7, I
That
think.
was very early.
Because it was after Robert Ceballos, but it was before Patty, because I lost Patty's interview. I had to redo that one again.
Yeah.
That was a complete redo. So I don't have the list in front of me, but yeah, that was a big setback. Like, that was like, fuck, man. Like,
I remember that was the first time that we ever... Because now we laugh a lot.
Right.
Because we can play off each other a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the first times we were just laughing and just having a good time. And
Right.
at one point... we made like a Twitter joke about nipples, and at the same time we locked eyes, and then we both said titter.
Yeah.
And we were
I
like,
remember
that
that.
was so funny. And then we lost the episode.
Yeah, that was funny. It's one of those lost moments that I guess just belongs to us, that no one else got to see. So in a way, it's kind of cool. It's one of those things that not everyone needed to hear, but I would have been nice.
Yeah. Favorite episode, I'm going to have to say Phantom at the Park.
Oh, so just like the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback from it.
Okay.
Like, that was so funny.
I'm sure there was...
What were you thinking?
I'm sure the fact that you were doing it, with your wife across the table from you was also... it's cool to be able to share that with her.
Yeah.
That's something that will live on. And that's another thing, dude, is like... Not to get morbid or anything, but I've often thought, like, especially in the last few weeks, after my recent, medical troubles. Dude, if I were to die, like, Quentin would have 49 hours, maybe,
Okay, yeah.
of, 49 episodes, 49 volumes of just who his dad was.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of person he was, the kind of humor he had,
Yeah.
you know, the way that he carried himself, the way he talked, what he thought of himself. Like, I have hit so many personal topics about myself that I've given away publicly. And I think subconsciously I always knew that it was something that I'm leaving Quentin to look back on.
Yeah.
Like, in one of those moments, maybe it's not an abrupt death. Maybe it's, 50 years from now.
Yeah.
And I do, when I finally do pass away, and he has one of those moments of like, man, I miss my dad. He can just pop open episode 35 or whatever and just...
Or maybe even he has kids.
Right.
Hey, you know what me and my dad used to do?
Right.
And he'll just play a bit where episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking touching.
Right.
So what was your favorite episode? Now it has to be the one with you and Quentin.
That I have several favorites for different reasons. I can't
Yes.
really narrow it down to one because they're all near and dear to my heart.
Well, because you work on them for so long.
Right.
Like, we hear each episode one time. I might hear it one time if I hear it.
Right.
Because I lived it.
Right.
But you have to hear it at like 3 times?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the editor's curse is what I've always called it. Was back when I was making music videos or whatever the case is, whatever I was working on at the time, whatever song I was using, dude, I fell in love with that song because I had to like dissect it and I
Yeah.
had to analyze it and I had to know every beat of that song. And there were certain songs that weren't my type of songs, but god damn it if they didn't become one of my favorite fucking songs. You know which one? Case in point, I was
Butterfly Kisses.
no, I never had to work on that one. Did I?
I don't know.
You know what? I think I made a video for my sister with that one.
I'm probably gonna dance with that to that song with Harley one day.
I'm sure you will.
We're probably gonna do a remix. I'm gonna dance crazy.
I made a let's see. I made a graduation video for Patty,
Okay.
and I used the song "Shimmer" by Fuel. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Can you
She
sing
calls
it?
me from the cold, just when I was low, feeling short and whatever. Anyway, dude, that song, like, I played it for like a week straight and editing over and over, and it's like you hit the space bar and it starts and starts and starts. Like, that's how you edit audio. Is
Yeah.
like you got to hit the beat, and I fell in love with that song. Another one, I was working at the radio station. And I was doing, you're familiar with the Concert in the Sky during 4th of July. And
Yeah.
they sync up the fireworks to music,
Yes.
usually patriotic music. And what was it? It was, they wanted something funky. They wanted because it's usually exactly. It's always like patriotic music or something like that. But
Something gay like the Star Spangled Banner? Is that what you're
I
saying?
did
Because
not
I'm
say
not
that.
saying that.
I did not say that.
I know
and-
George Washington doesn't feel that way. It's his birthday today.
Martina McBride.
What?
Yeah, is not the type of artist that I usually rock on my iPod.
Is that what that tattoo means?
She has a song called Independence Day, and it's like, and I caught it from the hook, and it was like, let freedom ring, let the white bird sing, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And dude, I love that song now. Like, I could still rock that song because I had to edit it and listen to it over and over and over again. But, that's just one of those things about editing music. I don't even know how I got there. Oh,
Because I
I
was
have to
asked-
listen to
yeah.
yes. So while I'm editing these things, while I'm putting them together and I'm uploading and I'm making the YouTube version, yes, I do end up listening to it about 5 times.
Wow.
So they are near and dear to my heart. So yes, original question, I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Never sorry. I'm never sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. The most touching one to me is the one with me and Quentin. Yes, episode 2. That conversation was so organic. It was so like when he's on here now, he comes in with a game plan. He comes in with an agenda. He's like, I want to talk about movies. I want to talk about wrestling. And I want to talk about this. And we start recording and we hit those topics as best we can. But that first time, it was just literally him and me sitting down across from each other. And I just cracked the mic and I rolled with it. Whatever he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And he talked about the things that were important to him. He talked about, dogs and his little sister and school and playing Grand Theft Auto and just he was running that interview.
That little game.
Yeah, the little mouse game. The little mouse and the cheese game that he plays on his iPad at school. And all those things, they were just coming out. And he was leading that interview. And I was just bouncing off him.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was probably the one that if I had 20 minutes left on this clock, I would listen to that one. So, yeah.
That's very sweet.
It's true.
I like the one with me.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I guess another big one for me was the first interview with Danya, with my first girlfriend, my first love, whatever you want to call. That one was not easy to lead up to. It was not easy to record or to actually get to the table to sit down and record and say, okay, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
But once we started recording, 10 minutes in or so, like it just became natural, and it
felt like a really good episode.
It was a peek into two people's personal life that doesn't usually get shared in that manner.
Yeah.
And that was the direction that I wanted with that. I wanted something real and honest and just I wanted, for the lack of better term, I wanted to open myself up to the audience, to whoever might have been listening, to whoever might have questioned, what makes Pete tick? How does he love? How does he, I don't know. It was in my head. It made sense to do that because I was always so closed off to the past.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how you handle things about the past or past relationships or whatever, but I always ran from it.
Yeah.
Always. So for me to stop running and to turn around and to face it head on and just say, you know what? Bring it on. That was big for me. That was a milestone. There's your word for me. So that one's big in my. I
thought it was a really good episode. Yeah, it really, like. You mentioned what I think about my past. I'm really bad about holding on to my past because I'm always just looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I only just recently am keeping up with one of my friends from my past, high school buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be like 4 of us that we were a tight group. And then I went to college, and then I just kind of lost track of them,
right.
Kind of lost ties. And of course, there's the ex-girlfriends that you're not really going to keep
especially
in contact
not
with.
I mean, you're married, so
Yeah.
it's that's typically
But I mean,
frowned upon.
I think about it, and I'm like, man, I'm just personally, I'm so bad at keeping up with friendships,
Mm-hmm.
and it not hurts, but like it breaks my heart a bit because I think about, like, I have a few friends that I work with, and they're like applying to new jobs, or if they're gonna leave, I'm like, and I'll tell them I'll never talk to you again. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I'll like things you post on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not gonna be the same.
Right.
I'm sure that's with everybody,
Yeah.
but
You're just
especially
more honest about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things like, senior year and excuse me, everyone's like, we'll keep in touch and whatever, and it's rare that you do.
Yeah.
It's rare, you only make a certain amount of true friends that you're going to hold on to forever. You can make a shitload of acquaintances,
Yeah.
You can even, like you said, like them on Facebook and be friends on Facebook, but those are just virtual friends.
Yeah.
The real ones are the ones that, you do stay with for 20 years after graduation. And speaking of that, just on a side note, I'm very happy to be recording today, on this day. It is not Taco Tuesday, even though we're going to say it is. My brother, Grief, Jess Salazar, and his lovely bride, Maria, they finally had their baby this morning at 11:28 a.m.
Fantastic.
And
Yay.
yes, very cool. I was lucky enough.
We went to their baby shower. It was beautiful. It was awesome.
Yes. I was lucky enough to meet little Jack Allister, by the way, that is his name. His nickname will be Jackal, because it's Jack Allister, Jackal. He came into this world this morning, and I was lucky enough to hold him, and I saw him, and I held him this afternoon, and I was just so happy to see my friend, my best friend, my brother, whatever you want to call him, just grow up.
Yeah.
And that sounds a little harsh, but that's not how I mean it. I mean it with love. Like, you never know what makes a man until you see him at his most vulnerable, holding his child.
That's true.
And I saw that. I was lucky enough to see that in person. And I'm getting choked up now just thinking about it, but it was a beautiful sight to see this brand new little thing that was just born, like 4 hours earlier.
That's you're gonna get me going.
Dude, it was like I don't know how to explain it, man, but it was so beautiful to be holding. I'm one of the first things that this little being is going to feel. I know it can't see me.
Yeah.
But it felt me.
Yeah.
I held him, and it was like,
probably heard you.
You
spoke to it.
It lifted all of the shit all the shit of the day. Like, it wasn't really a bad day. It was a good day.
Yeah.
So I didn't go in there with negativity, but any little bit of like, tiredness or sleepiness or whatever negativity in whatever sense of the word that I was holding on to just instantly disappeared when I held that little baby boy. So I want to congratulate them. I love you both, and now I love little baby Jackal. So
good job, guys.
That's cool. So anyway,
I was thinking about it.
What?
And having heard what you were talking about and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite episode, I think, is when I got to talk to Harley.
Ah, yes, that was big.
That was so great. I was showing other people at work, like where I would usually post these on Facebook and say, "Hey guys, listen to my podcast."
Right.
I was like, "Hey, do you want to hear Harley?" And like I'd bring it up on my phone and I'd be like, we recorded a podcast. Oh, you guys have a podcast? Yeah, shut up, whatever. Listen to this little girl.
Right.
And I was just so excited and she sounded so cute, and I have never heard her like that before, because I'm used to seeing her and hearing her, and that's her, but she sounds so petite and so cute and adorable. When she said, my heart melts every time when she says snow cone maker.
Yes.
Oh, it's
dude,
so cute.
I know what you mean.
Snow cone maker?
Is it snow cone maker? And it's just like, yes,
gosh.
I know exactly what you're saying because I feel the same way.
Snow cone maker.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I mean,
that was probably of the year one of my favorite podcasting memories.
Okay. I like it. I think besides what has been discussed, I'm sorry, just not to keep on going back to it. I'm starting to think.
Don't worry about it.
The episode 28 where we switched roles.
Oh, yeah.
And you interviewed me.
That was, yeah.
And you hosted and I was the sidekick or whatever.
You fucked up.
Dude, I really like that episode.
Why?
I really do, because it showed it gave me an opportunity to like talk about my things that were on my mind, whereas typically, you'll say a story and I'll try and dig back deep to something that may relate, and I'll throw it out. But it's kind of like, oh, this, and this. Okay, moving on. Like I never really get to elaborate. Not that I really want to.
Yeah.
I mean, it would sound awkward if I would just kind of took a break and was like, well, let me tell a 5-minute story, to counterpoint your story. But
I'm really bad at that. I always tell like really fucking long stories. I'm really sorry to all the audience because I fucking take over and I have a boring story. But go on, I took over again.
Yeah, there you go. No, just I enjoyed episode 28 a lot.
It was good, man. I'm glad it was fun for you to talk, and the show was about you. Because I'm sure not a lot of people knew that about you. I didn't know you were a backyard wrestler. I didn't know you played football.
Right. So there was a lot of reasons why this show was created. Out of a necessity for therapy, out of, trying to move past some of the pain that I was in at the time, the fighting through some of the depression, just different things like that. And a big part of it was out of boredom.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And I was bored with life in general. I was bored with not having anything to do with my free time, and I was trying to figure out a way to fill it. Now, fast forwarding 1 year, I can honestly say that this show has enriched my life, has helped bring me back to a point where I can honestly say that I'm happy. I'm happy. But to my point of saying that it was also created out of boredom, I got something today. I was sent something by one of the most amazingly beautiful people that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, both beautiful inside and out, and she sent me something today via text that I need to share.
Okay.
It's a quote, and it's a quote about boredom. And I'd like to read it here for just a minute. This is by Alan Watts from the book On the Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. As it is, we are merely bolting our lives, gulping down undigested experiences as fast as we can stuff them in, because awareness of our own existence is so superficial and so narrow that nothing seems to us more boring than simple being. If I ask you what you did, saw, heard, smelled, touched, and tasted yesterday, I'm likely to get nothing more than the thin, sketchy outline of the few things that you noticed. And of those, only what you thought worth remembering. Is it surprising that an existence so experienced seems so empty and bare that its hunger for an infinite future is insatiable? But suppose you could answer, it would take me forever to tell you, and I'm much too interested in what's happening now. How is it possible that a being with such sensitive jewels as the eyes, such enchanted musical instruments as the ears, and such a fabulous arabesque of nerves as the brain can experience itself as anything less than a god? And when you consider that this incalculably subtle organism is inseparable from the still more marvelous patterns of its environment, from the minutest electrical designs to the whole company of the galaxies, how is it conceivable that this incarnation of all eternity can be bored with simply being?
Wow. I got chills. Wow.
So I guess my point is, a year later, 50 episodes later, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about living. I've learned a lot about enjoying life. And I've learned that I should never be bored with my life in general.
God, you're going to make me cry.
Nobody should be bored with their life. Nobody has the right to be bored.
No.
We are incredible creatures designed by a power much greater than we can ever imagine to be perfect. And shit happens. It does. I'm not going to deny that. But life is beautiful. And I'm just happy to be at a point where I can see it again. Because I had lost that vision through the jewels that are my eyes.
I have nothing to add.
And that's all I got to say about that.
You fucked it up. That's dumb. Don't say that's all I got to say about that.
Well, it's true.
Okay, but yeah, man, that was touching.
So, anyway, on that note, hit the music.
This one?
That one. I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining us for our 1-year anniversary episode. We couldn't have gotten here without the support and the listeners and
thank you guys so much.
Family, friends, relatives, whatever you want to call you. You all are our family in the bigger sense of the word. And I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So does Mark, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to be rude. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you tuning in every week. It really means a lot to not be screaming at nothing.
I'm just glad somebody's listening. And hopefully, we'll get another year out of it.
Absolutely, yes.
Let's just keep on keeping on.
More nicknames.
More nicknames coming. More
bigger, longer,
and uncut.
South Park.
Thank you guys for joining us. Special thanks to our sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds. Been there for us since the beginning.
Day one.
Please visit audibletrial.com/TSUP to get a free audio download. Kick back a little love to us.
It's very late. I yawned.
And on that note, after 1 year, I'm still happy to say, have yourselves a very, very happy Taco Tuesday.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
Bye-bye, guys.